What daily routines and practices do you need to put in place to support your cosmic self, your intuition, your spiritual energy? And which routines are holding you hostage from accessing the deeper wisdom, the deeper part of you? Welcome to Move with Soul, the podcast where we talk about connecting with your body to release what you don't need any more of so you can make space for what you're calling in. I'm Jeannie. I'm a somatic embodiment and holistic health coach. And each week I share somatic practices and self-care tips, routines, reflections that you can use inspired by the current astrological transits. Now, whether you are tuning in for the week of January 9th to January 15th, 2025, or because something in the title has called out to you, trust that. You don't have to speak astrology or know any of the lingo to benefit from this podcast, as I will break it all down for you in practical ways and steps that you can just make the most of this energy and implement it and learn astrology as you go. Now, the star of the show this week, or the transit that stood out the most, is that on January 11th, the lunar nodes of destiny, of fate, are changing signs. This happens every year and a half or so. And if you want to think about this, the nodes of fate are like the compass. And the north node is where you're headed, where you're going. And the south node is where you've been. And they're moving into the signs. The north node is moving into Pisces, dreamy, spiritual, cosmic, compassionate Pisces. And the south node, where we've been, what you're releasing, what you're letting go of, is in the sign of Virgo, practical, analytical, realist, can see the whole picture and can see exactly what's been wrong, but can sometimes be a little bit overly critical, overly analytical, very practical, very daily, routine, regimented. In reference to the south node, letting go of some of those concepts that just are not serving you anymore. So this is asking you, what daily routines and practices do you need to put in place to support your cosmic self, your intuition, your spiritual energy? And which routines are holding you constricted or holding you hostage from accessing the deeper wisdom, the deeper part of you? I mean, that's where somatic embodiment comes into play. It is literally physically releasing these resistances within you so you can embody more of who you truly are and live and express as yourself and feel better in your body and your mind. Like, where can you let go? This energy is also asking you, where can you have compassion for yourself? Virgo, super great at seeing where your faults are, where you can improve. Virgo is like obsessed with self-improvement. And Pisces is just like fully blissfully being in what already is. Pisces is flow. Pisces is trusting in that divine timing. I mean, I don't know who needs that more than Virgo rising. Anyway, so a few ways to let go of some of that rigidity and invite in more flow is through movement practice. One that I highly, highly recommend that you do whenever you're feeling stuck on something or somewhere is put on a song that makes you feel flowy, dreamy, floaty, and don't let yourself stop moving for the entire song. And can you move in waves? Can you move in circles? Pisces is that water element. Water moving around the earth. Literally close your eyes and just picture your energy floating and flowing and moving as you go and just breaking past any resistances, knowing to sing any stuck points. Like, for example, maybe every time you go to move your hips to the right, it feels constricted and held on. How can you slowly start to break that up with the movement in your pelvis? Because the body is a mirror. The body translates what our mind is thinking. The body shows us what our mind is thinking. Virgo, mind. So how can you bring in more ease and flow and fluidity in your movements and therefore across your mind? How can you trust your body? Virgo rules the body and daily self routines, and Pisces is that cosmic divine trust. How can you trust that your body already knows how to heal itself? Your body already knows exactly what to do. Do you have a practice in place where you tune into that trust? That's what having an embodiment practice can do for you. It's practicing allowing your body to lead and show you what it needs, even if it's for 5 minutes a day, even if you put on one song a day and you just let your body move how it wants to. You are practicing in real time, something that Virgo likes, practical application of how to call in your cosmic intuition. And Pisces does not have to understand how it works. Pisces does not have to understand the details. That's what the Virgo wants. That's what we're kind of letting go of over the course of this time, or maybe depending on what you're going through in your life. So practicing that, it's almost like Pisces is like you trust that the next breath is going to come in every exhale. So doing breathing exercises, following your breath, following the trust, following the exhale fully out. Can you actually retain your exhale out for a couple of seconds and just trust that your body's going to know how to breathe back in that air? Or maybe you have a lot of this divine feminine trust, like, yeah, everything is love and light, everything is as it should. Do you need to lean into some of that practical applications, especially when it comes to your spiritual routines, your energetic hygiene, the things that light up your soul? Are you making time for them every day? Are you scheduling them into your planner? What would help support you actually making these things happen, grounding down your spiritual energy? That's why I love to have these daily practices like yoga, Ashtanga yoga, where you're expected to show up 6 days a week, or embodiment practices where you do it every day without fail, tuning in, checking in. How are you feeling? What do you need to let go of to invite in more of your full cosmic self, the part of you who knows, your higher self? Maybe this is my excessive Virgo energy talking, but the best way to build self-trust is to follow through with what you said you were going to. Not really a strength of Pisces. So how can you implement the strength of Virgo, the routine, the dedicated, the daily grind, so you can make more space for that spiritual intuition to come through? Maybe it's taking a shower and just letting your senses clear off, close off, so you can get those intuitive downloads, or through your yoga flows or your practices or walking outside. Make time for your spiritual routines over the course of this next year and a half, and you're really going to see some magic happen. If you want a little extra support in letting go, I'm going to link down below a free energetic clearing practice that's just going to help you clear any energies that are not yours, help silence that inner critic, and invite in and make space for exactly what we talked about. Again, I'm Jeannie. Thanks for tuning in. I'll leave more about my offerings down below, and I'll see you next week.